Hi guys, this is Math 148 and looking at section 12.4, which are applications of integrals. So in previous sections, if you remember chapter 10 when we did applications, come on pen. In chapter 10, we had things like we were given a cost function and we were asked to find the marginal cost, right? Remember this? Marginal cost. And the marginal cost you always found, they wrote it like this, marginal cost, by taking the derivative of the cost function. Similarly, we were sometimes given the revenue function, asked to find the marginal revenue, the rate of change of revenue, and you found that by taking the derivative of the revenue function, etc. Well, now we're going to go backwards because we're doing integration, and we're going to be given the marginal revenue or marginal cost or marginal profit, and we're going to use integration to go backwards to find the revenue and cost function. But, as you remember, the one little new tricky piece is when we do integration, we always get this plus constant thing, the integration constant. And we're going to have to solve for this integration constant. And for this chapter, or this section, they're writing it as a k. So I'm thinking of it as constant with a k, which is sort of dorky, but there it is. So here's the problem. Question number 5. I'm going to make this font bigger. If the marginal cost for producing a product is... in a 28-point font, there you go. The marginal cost is 4x plus 40. So that's the marginal cost. This is the rate of change of cost. It's not the cost function. And the total cost for producing 25 units is $3,000. Find the cost of producing 30 units. Okay, so here's the question. We want the total cost of producing 30 units, and we're going to find that with these stages. Here's our steps. Step 1, we're going to take the integral. Sometimes the verb there is to integrate. Integrate, like that. Not integrate, integrate. Integrate the marginal cost to get the cost function. So the first thing we're going to do is take the integral of the marginal cost to get the cost function. That's going to give us this constant. We have to use a k now because c stands for cost function. So then, step 2 is we're going to use the information in the problem to find this constant, k. So we have to solve for k. Step 3 is now rewrite the cost function using that k. So just make sure you plug the k back in. And the final step is we're going to, once we have our cost function, we're going to be able to plug x equals 30 into the cost function to get our answer. Because you recall, the question says find the cost of producing 30 units. So the marginal cost is 40x plus 40. Step 1, integrate. So we have marginal cost is equal to 4x plus 40. This should not be the most challenging integration we have done. So our cost function, c, that's a c of x, is equal to the integration of the marginal cost. So we're going to take the integral of 4, I said integration, it should be integral, 4x plus 40 dx. So the cost function, we can do this. So this is x, you add 1 here, that becomes squared, the constant comes out in front, the 2 goes on the bottom, plus 40 times x. I always think of it as there's a little x to the 0 there, so you add 1 divided by 1, plus our constant. Krispy Kreme, constants. You don't get a cookie, you get a Krispy Kreme. It's always something. So this is 2x squared plus 40x plus a Krispy Kreme. Constant. Okay, again, we just didn't use a c there because there's already cost is confusing. So this is step 1. We got our cost function, but it's not great because we have this k. And we have to solve for that. So, remember, here's our steps. Step 1, take the integral or integrate the marginal cost. Use the info in the problem to find the constant, k. So what information do we have? This, right here. This is why they include this second line. The total cost of producing 25 units is $3,000. This is why they tell you that. You can use that information to find the constant. So we know that the cost function is equal to 2x squared plus 40x plus our constant, right? And they also told us in the problem that the cost of producing 25 items, so when you plug in 25, 2 times 25 squared plus 40 times 25 plus our constant equals $3,000. So now we can use this information to solve for k. So if you solve this out, you should get K equals $750. Okay, so now we are on stage 3 of our little steps. So write the cost function again with the K. No big deal, no problemo. So you just want to make sure that when you're at the final answer, you're using all that information. Your cost function is actually 2x squared plus 40x plus 750. Constant, right? So now we want to find what is the cost for producing 20 items. Nope, 30 items. I got confused. 30 units. We want to know what is the cost when x equals 30. So, let's just plug in x equals 30. Just calm down. Plug in x equals 30. 2 times 30 squared plus 40 times 30 plus 750. It's a little bit less strenuous than some of the stuff you've done. That's 3,750. Yay. So, that's the answer. The answer is 3,750. That wasn't that big a deal. And again, let's look at the problem. If the marginal cost for producing a product is this, and the total cost of producing 25 units is 3,000, find the cost for producing 30 units. So you can go back and review this and see what I did, but those are the sorts of problems you should be able to do from this section. Go get 'em!